Right, question 3, 2020 exam paper for financial information. Time to pile on some points, see if we can get an E8 on this one. Right, so what we're asked to do is a cash flow really in this question. In this question we've got to do accounts receivable, accounts payable, and then put that together in the cash flow statement. So the accounts receivable, we're going to take the information from resource A, which we've spent all that hard work on, and do the ledger for accounts receivable and accounts payable to start. Like any ledger, if it's got a printed balance there, we're going to type in the word balance, or write in. And just in the balance column. So the printed figure, you can see over here accounts receivable was 9,150 and it went to 8,000. So we write 9,150, debit balance, and it went down to 8,000. Debit balance. And the reason it went down, well, we saw that there was a $1,150 decrease. And if you go back to the resource material, you'll see that that's the adjustment, that was the bad debt. So write bad debt, but it's not just a bad debt, it's a bad debts and GST. So that $1,000 that we added to the bad debts and the 150, which we took off GST. That's all you need to do. That's done. That'll give you 2 marks in this question. Then accounts payable, same sort of thing. So we've got a balance at the start. And that balance, it's on the credit side over here. The printed one is 7,600. And you change that to 11,050. And there was that invoice that we received for that accountancy fee. And you remember that the accountancy fee, the invoice was 3,450. So that's in the additional information, but you've added it to here and onto the accountancy fee. And really, it's the accountancy fee and the GST because we owed them both. Right, and we'll just write credit stock balance. So those figures again are these 4 marks, one for each line, that one, this one, that one, and that one, and that'll help you get some marks for the next section. So the next section, if we scroll down, we've got to calculate the cash received from accounts receivable and the cash paid for accounts payable. So for this one here, we're going to need a little bit more information. So that more information comes in resource C. And resource C, it's got some information around invoices and those sorts of things. So what you've got to do is, for each one of these, we've got to say, does it increase accounts receivable, decrease accounts receivable to start off with? So that's the first part. So invoices issued to credit customers. This part here is going to be an accounts receivable. And we're going to put a plus. It'll increase our accounts receivable. Invoice received from suppliers. So that will increase our accounts payable. So accounts payable and plus. Credit note received from suppliers. So that's our suppliers giving us a credit note. So our accounts payable, that increase or decrease. Oh, interesting. That will be an accounts payable and a minus. Credit note issued to credit customers. That's going to be accounts payable. Accounts receivable. And that'll be a minus as well. Alright, and then we've got some balances at the end. So we'll use those figures to basically reconstruct the accounts receivable, accounts payable ledgers in order to find the cash balance. Alright, so over here we're going to do our accounts receivable ledger. So on the debit side we're going to put our AR plus. And on the credit side, it's AR minus. Alright, so this is a debit side, so we're going to add. First thing we're going to add to that is the opening balance. So you get that from what you've got further on the up above on the page. And our opening balance of that is 8,000. Then we look over here and we see the AR plus. So we're going to add that one. And that's for the invoices issued. So we can write invoices. I'll try it this way, my pen's working a bit better. So on the debit side, we've got opening balance plus and closing balance on the credit side. Opposite for accounts payable because it's got a credit balance. So the opening balance on the credit side and the closing on the debit. So we've got the opening balance of our accounts receivable is $8,000. And it tells us over here that our closing balance of accounts receivable is $9,500. For accounts payable, our opening balance is, you'll see that 11,050. That's just above on the sheet. And our closing balance over here is 10,200. So those things that are AR plus that you've already marked, mine's gone off this sheet, is invoices for 12,700. AP plus, that 14,000. And that's your suppliers invoices. So that's basically your purchases. Your returns here from your suppliers. Is 1350. And your returns from your customers is 800, so AR minus. So what we've got to do is we've got to find this magical figure over here called bank. Because that will subtract from how much is owed, and over on this side we also need that figure as well. To do that, we're going to total up both sides. Find the higher side, so on this side we've got 20,700. And we'll transfer that across. Bring out our trusty calculator. So 20,700. And we're going to minus 9,500. And then minus 800. And that'll tell us that 11,000. 10,400. There's this figure here. On this side we total up our highest side, so we can see this side, our credit side's our highest, so that's 25,050. Transfer that across, and again back to your calculator, and we're trying to find this bank figure here. So we've got 25 minus 10,200 minus 1350. So you're just trying to find the missing figure, and that gives us 13,500. So that bank figure is critical because that's the figure that we're going to use in our cash flow statement. Good thing from that is you get 3 marks through there. That will help towards your excellence grade on that. So now we go down to the easy bit really, and this is our cash flow statement. Our cash receipts, we're going to put, first one is cash received from accounts receivable. So this part here, I'm just going to type accounts receivable. That's your 10,400. Right, and then in payments we'll put accounts payable there. And that's your 13. Great, so that is those two transferred across. Alright, so then what we do is we go back to this resource C, and we're looking for any other cash coming in. So like in the good old days, we in level 1 we write receipts, payments, or neither. So as we go through direct debits for expenses, so that one is going to be a payment. See if we can sort the screen out a bit better for you. So direct debit for expenses, so we can just put expenses there. Transfer to wages. Put this on a new page. That looks a bit better. We've got our wages. Check the time frame on these as well. Direct credits for online cash sales. So we can like online sales. We don't need to write the word cash because it's a cash flow statement. So of course it's cash. So cash sales, it's money coming in, 45,800. That's going to help the business. FPOS drawings. So we'll just write drawings. The FPOS just tells us it's cash. I'm formatting the bit out. Paid a deposit on a new warehouse fittings. So and I like to put deposit because that shows to whoever's reading this that we haven't paid everything in full. We've got direct credit for the sale of old warehouse fittings. So direct credit means money coming in. We don't write old warehouse fittings. In here we try to write what it would be in the trial balance. And that is going to be 1,700. And then we've got a GST paid of 7,100 because it's paid, it's a payment. And we don't write IRD there, we just write GST because that's the account that it matches with the trial balance. And online payment for cash purchases. So we can just write online purchases. And online purchases 11,400. Again, you probably just want to write purchases there, but I've put online to distinguish it against that accounts payable there. So we total up both sides. And we've got, adding all that is 57,900. Adding all our payments is 57,200. Just extend that over. And so 57,900 minus 57,200 means that we've got a $700. And because our receipts are higher than our payments, it's an increase in cash, so it's not in brackets. And you're going to add that to your closing, your opening balance, and that'll give you still an overdraft. So we still put it in brackets, 1,700. Here's a bank overdraft. Good, that's all. Good luck with that. That's the end. That should give you an E8 going through all of that. All the best for your assessment. And that is the end of the revision following through 2020 paper. Ka kite. Thank you for watching.